Hi, I'm Simon Vance, an audiobook narrator and an actor, and I'm joining you from my rather delightfully sunny garden in Los Angeles County for my first contribution to Voices of Calm, for which I have chosen a couple of poems by a poet called John Masefield. Before I tell you any more about him, let me read the first of the poems, a short one called Beauty. I have seen dawn and sunset on moors and windy hills, coming in solemn beauty like slow old tunes of Spain. I've seen the Lady April bringing the daffodils, bringing the springing grass and the soft, warm April rain. I have heard the song of the blossoms and the old chant of the sea, and seen strange lands from under the arched white sails of ships. But the loveliest things of beauty God ever has showed to me are her voice and her hair and eyes, and the dear red curve of her lips. Beauty by John Masefield. Now, I thought John Masefield was a poet of perhaps the late 19th century, maybe into the early 20th, but in fact, while he was born in 1878, towards the end of the 19th century, he became poet laureate for the United Kingdom in 1930 through till his death on May the 12th, almost exactly 53 years ago today, in 1967. So he was poet laureate through the reigns of George V, the brief reign of Edward VIII, then George VI, and then his daughter, the first 15 years of Elizabeth II's reign. So quite a lengthy period. And my first acquaintance may have been the same as a lot of people my age, born in the 50s, growing up with a comedian, Spike Milligan, although to call him just a comedian is to understate it. He was a comic genius. His perhaps John Masefield's best-known poem, I'll read to you first how I first heard it, adapted by Spike Milligan. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky. I left my vest and socks there. I wonder if they're dry. I'm going to read you now the full poem as written by John Masefield. Sea Fever. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. And the wheels kick, and the wind's song, and the white sails shaking, and the grey mist on the sea's face, and a grey dawn breaking. I must go down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call, and a clear call that may not be denied. And all I ask is a windy day, and the white clouds flying, and the flung spray, and the blown spume, and the seagulls crying. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and a quiet sleep, and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. John Masefield, Sea Fever. And that's my contribution to Voices of Calm. Stay safe, stay well.